Hey guys, happy Wednesday. It's Tara here. All right, so I want to share with you today 5 things that you need to have, even just a little bit of, before you start the most amazing health or body transformation. Okay, I'm going to dive into that in a second. Quick intro if we haven't met yet. My name is Tara Allen. I am a registered nurse, a health coach, a nutrition coach, a fitness coach. I help women get healthy, fit, and strong for a living. I help them optimize their lives by transforming their health and their bodies first, okay? Because once we start there, we have some tangible result. You start to feel better about yourself, you start to have more energy, and then, the world is your oyster from there. Hey, Tiffany, thanks for watching. Hey, Deb, thanks for watching. What's going on, Tiffany? Okay, so 5 things that you guys will need. Let's dive into it, and I'm going to talk a little bit about each of them. So number 1 is confidence, okay? It is not the case that you will get these results, get the transformation, and then be full of confidence. Rather, what has to happen is that you have to have confidence, you have to trust yourself to be able to make the change. If you don't believe that you can do it, if you don't believe that now is the time, that this time is different than other times in the past, then you're going to start acting like that, right? We all know the law of attraction, which is kind of a misnomer. It's not that we actually attract those things, it's that we actually put out certain vibes. And so our experiences in this world are based on the vibes that we put out there, because that becomes our perspective, right? So you need to start with the confidence, because when you have the confidence, then you trust yourself, and then you will actually make those decisions that are going to support the type of transformation that you want to make. So what am I talking about here? I'm not saying that you have to be totally happy with where you're at right now. I am saying that you have to accept where you're at right now. You have to accept it. You have to just accept it as fact. Like, this is where you're at, for good, bad, or indifferent. It's just where you're at, right? This is the state of your body. This is the state of your health. This is the state of your finances, your relationship status, whatever it is. You just have to accept that this is your starting place. And then from there, you can decide where it is that you want to go. You have the control. You have the power to go where you want to go. And then you just need to start with baby steps so that you can start to build the trust in yourself, okay? Especially if you come from a history like so many of my clients have, in which you've tried so many different things and you haven't stuck to your word. Maybe you've tried to come out of the gate like, 0 to 60, I'm going to change all of the things about my life in one day. And then guess what? It doesn't stick. Surprise, surprise, right? So we have to start with baby steps, so that it could be the tiniest thing, you guys. It's like, if you don't drink any water, you could take 5 sips of water today. If you tell yourself you're going to take 5 sips of water today, and you take those 5 sips of water today, you will be surprised, but you will start to build that trust in yourself. The whole point is that you have to pick something that you can and you will stick to. Make it small, make it so small that it's ridiculous, and then once you build that trust, you will start to set bigger goals and stick to them, and bigger goals and bigger goals. So that's how it works, okay? The confidence doesn't come later on. The confidence certainly builds later on, but it starts right up front. You have to trust that you can do this, okay? Trust yourself, trust the process, and just trust the universe, okay? So start with that little bit of confidence, and the tip there is to make little baby steps along the way and stick to your word, okay? That brings me to discipline. The way to stick to things is not motivation. Again, the motivation comes later on once you build up momentum. What you start with is discipline, okay? If all you're used to eating is candy, then eating the spinach is gonna suck at first, okay? It's not like gonna be this euphoric moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I've been missing spinach my whole life. No, it's probably gonna taste crappy at first. Sorry about my language. So it's gonna take discipline up front, but guess what? Then your taste buds change, and eventually you may start to crave the spinach, okay? Same thing with exercise. If you're not an exerciser, at first you're gonna really have to push yourself to start moving, to start sweating. It's gonna feel gross. If you're not used to moving your body and then sweating as a result, it feels gross at first, okay? You start to get used to it, but you have to build your discipline muscles in order to get there. So you have to just tell yourself what you're gonna do, start small, and push yourself to do it. The motivation, that comes later, okay? And that just helps you to take things to another level. But start with confidence, trust in yourself, and then have the discipline to follow through on it. Perspective. Perspective is where you will connect with the deeper meaning of why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, so it's never just about the aesthetics, okay? I don't care how shallow you think you are. It's never just about the aesthetics. It's all about the way that we want to feel. We do everything that we do because we want to feel a certain thing, okay? Even the unselfish things that we do, like donate things and give away money and volunteer time, it's because it makes us feel good, okay? Let's just be real there. The things, and that's a great thing, right? When you can help somebody else and also feel better about it at the same time, that's like a total win-win. But we always do things because we want to feel better, okay? So if we're interested in losing excess body fat, we want to feel better. Either physically, we want to feel like more comfortable in our skin, or we want to be more vibrant or have more energy, or we just want to feel better mentally. And we feel like, it's going to be easier to just parade around the beach in a bathing suit if we're more confident in our skin or whatever. But it ultimately comes down to physically and mentally, we want to feel better. That's why we do everything we do. So I want you to take your goals that you have, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to put my PCOS in remission. Whatever your health and body goals are, I want you to take those and I want you to go further and say, but why do I want that? Why do I want that? And the light bulb should go off when you find yourself making a statement about the way that you want to feel. I want that because I want to feel more confident. I want that because I want to feel like I don't have to be so obsessed about my food choices anymore, right? Because a lot of times when we're pretty far removed from the end goal of what we want, it consumes our life because we're like always thinking about what we want to eat, when we should eat, how much we should eat, when we should work out, is this person judging me? We're always thinking about all these things. And so a lot of this comes down to wanting to feel like it's actually not a big part of our life anymore, that it's just second nature. We're just living our lives, we're enjoying ourselves, and we don't have to think so hard about these decisions. Okay, so perspective, gain some new perspective on your goals and take it a little bit deeper. It's not just that you want to lose 20 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds or 5 pounds. It's more than that. So think about what that more than that is for you. The other thing is grace. We have to be gentle on ourselves. Number one, it's more fun that way. It feels better to be gentle on ourselves, but actually it will get you to your results faster, and it will help you to sustain your results when you do get there. And the reason is that our brains want to feel good. Okay, and so if you are beating yourself up over decisions that you don't think are right, or a day that you think you just lost it, we all have those days that we're kind of like spiraling downward and we just can't wait for bedtime. If you don't have grace with yourself, and what I mean by that is just to sort of accept it and forgive yourself and tell yourself you can start again tomorrow and all of those things. If you don't have that grace and you just want to be really mean and beat yourself up, your brain will seek out the pleasure that you're not giving it in other ways. And guess what? It's going to have you go to the food. You're going to be emotionally eating even more. It's going to have you skipping your workouts because it's more comfortable in the moment to sit on the couch and binge watch your Netflix shows or whatever. So your brain will seek out that comfort in ways that you don't want it to do that because it's going to go against what your goals are if you don't give yourself the grace in the moment. However, if you're not beating yourself up, your brain is not going to have to buck against you so hard and look for all of this outside comfort in ways that aren't going to serve you. It's going to feel like you're being gentle on it. It's going to feel like it's getting the love that it needs, the unconditional love that it needs from you. So while these topics, yes, they're not like, they're a little bit woo-woo, but they really work. They come down to science. It comes down to our neurotransmitters and neuroscience and our brain chemistry so that we can actually get the results that we want to get, okay? So beating yourself up once you had that donut or that cookie is actually going to lead to, ultimately, more weight gain or less weight loss in the future, or your health spiraling downward because you are going to be seeking out those things that aren't so good for you. Give yourself grace. And then the fifth thing that we need and the best transformation for your health or body is the ability to fail forward. So this is like once you give yourself that grace because you quote unquote messed up or you're off track or whatever, then you need to be able to fail forward. You need to look at situations and think about how you can learn from this. One of the reasons that my one-on-one coaching with my clients is a long-term program is because I want there to be many opportunities to fail forward. Okay, if I put somebody on like a really perfect 30-day plan or something like that, and that's all we get together, we don't get the chance necessarily to see what it's like to go through Thanksgiving and the holidays, and then that really difficult anniversary date of someone close to you that you lost, and how that date normally throws you off, or how vacation normally spirals you downward, or all of those things that normally come up for us in a typical year. A lot of times it's like a cycle. We have the same time periods that are tricky for us. So illness, you get sick, your kids get sick. There's busier times at work, whatever. We all have these things that we go through. And so one of the reasons that I work with people long term, but you can do this for yourself, is to let yourself have that long journey and to use each opportunity that comes up as a point of learning and failing forward, meaning you don't get to see how you're doing with these things if they don't come up. So don't be afraid of the holidays when they come up. Think of it like you're going to just enter them with your eyes wide open, and if it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, then you're going to learn from that, and you're going to think about what needs to be in place next time for it to go a little bit better. Okay, so Tiffany says, if you don't accept who you are now, it's never going to matter no matter what you do. You have to love yourself the same at 300 pounds as you do at 180. Tiffany, I love that so much. It's so true. That's so true, because there are so many people that will kind of white knuckle their way to their results, but they're not actually changing who they are becoming, and so they don't actually get to appreciate that. And when they get to their newer, smaller body, they will find something else that they don't like about themselves because they haven't actually worked on their mind. They haven't learned to appreciate it and become a new person. Hey Faith, thanks for watching. Tiffany says, people always say you look so amazing. It has nothing to do with how I look and everything to do with how I feel. Good morning, Faith. Yes, Tiffany, exactly. So Tiffany, you guys, has lost a ton of weight. She is somebody that has struggled with PCOS as well. And that's so interesting about, yes, people will always talk about how you look. I try to tell people when I'm trying to give them a compliment in that area that they look so happy, they look so healthy, that type of a thing, because you never know what struggle somebody's going through. You never know when you're saying like, oh my gosh, you look great, you lost so much weight, and maybe that person is depressed, maybe that person is going through an illness that's making them lose a ton of weight, so I always try to take it outside of the weight. Me personally, I would prefer to not ever talk about the weight, actually. I don't think that that's nearly as important as we tend to focus on. But the reason I come here day after day, week after week, talking about weight loss is because that's what you guys say that you want to hear from me. So I don't mind talking about weight loss, talking about, body improvements and those type of aesthetic things, as long as it comes packaged with the health upgrades and the mindset upgrades and just really stepping into the person that it is that you want to become, right? If you're enjoying your life, if you're finding your passion, if you feel connected to others, like that's what really matters, right? Tiffany says you're amazing. I'm not amazing, but thank you. Okay, so those are the 5 things. I'm going to go over it real quick again. I don't know what that noise was. Did you guys hear that? My phone is making weird noises. Anyway, the 5 things that you need to have. And by the way, you don't need to have these dialed in. They can be little teeny tiny baby seeds inside of you, because we all have these, but you just have to have the ability to allow these to grow. Okay, so like if you were to come to me as a client, I would find these little baby seeds, I promise you I would, inside of you, and I would, water them and put sunshine over them and all that. And then eventually, because this is part of the coaching process as well, I would teach you how to water them yourself and how to, move the sun around for yourself and all that, so that you step away knowing how to coach yourself for the rest of your life. This is not, you don't have to be a client of mine. I will keep showing up and putting out free stuff, because if you think that you can do this on your own, I want you to be able to do it on your own. If you haven't tried it yet on your own, there's no reason to hire somebody yet, right? Try it on your own. If you've tried it on your own before and it hasn't worked out or it hasn't lasted and you do need some help, send me a message. I'm happy to chat about that. But this isn't about this isn't about working with somebody, not working with somebody, working with me, not working with me. It's about none of that. It's really about knowing what's going on like under the hood. Okay. It's terrible that I use a car reference because I really don't know much about cars. Maybe one day. But it's about knowing what's going on under the hood so you can just really come in with your eyes wide open and understand the types of areas that we need to grow in, because everyone knows that nutrition is important. Everyone knows fitness is important. All of those things. People know that, but most people do not realize that you have to have the confidence in yourself before you start, at least a little bit. You have to trust yourself. Most people think that you need motivation first. They don't realize that it's actually discipline before motivation. Most people don't go deeper with their goals. So they start their new program or this or that or whatever, thinking that their goal is to lose 20 pounds. They haven't actually taken that deeper and realized that there's something so much more, right? A lot of people will still beat themselves up. So they'll start something new, a new program, they'll work with a coach or whatever, and they're still in the mindset of feeling like they need to beat themselves up too. Not just that it happens, but that they feel like if they don't beat themselves up over mistakes, then they're letting themselves off the hook, and then they're just going to be totally out of control. But it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. The only way to be able to get to the goal that you want is to give yourself grace along the way. And then failing forward. A lot of people get so discouraged when they hit plateaus, or they have that difficult time of year, or they've lost 10 pounds and then they put 2 back on or whatever. But the point is that this happens to everyone if you're going to go on a long and lasting journey, because the entire time you're learning. So basically, if you do it that way, the long journey, you're learning everything you could possibly need to know for the future you. So it's like everything, right? But if you do it the other way, where it's like this neat little box and you don't come across any kind of adversity along the way or problems or whatever, all you're learning how to do is what happens on like a perfect day. You're not learning about all the rest of life and kind of integrating your healthy lifestyle with the way that you want to live your life as well. So that's the concept of failing forward. So again, real quick. Hi, April. You need confidence. Okay, so you do that by little baby steps that you stick to your word. Learn to trust yourself. You're not going to trust yourself by trying to change 10 things on one day. Trust yourself by drinking 1 extra glass of water, 5 extra sips of water, 1 minute of working out. I'm not kidding you. 1 minute of working out will build the habit. It'll build the momentum. It'll allow you to trust yourself. Okay, march in place for 1 minute today. If you were going to do nothing, and then now you do 60 seconds extra of marching in place, then you've done something more than you were going to do anyway, right? And you start to trust yourself that way. So you're going to build your confidence that way. You're going to remember that you need discipline before motivation. So don't wait for the motivation to come across you, because you're not going to be motivated every day of your life, I promise. So you have to be disciplined on the moments that you're not feeling it, right? So you're watching this video, and let's say tonight you're like, oh yeah, I was going to march for 60 seconds and I didn't do it yet. The point where your head wants to tell you, just go to bed, you could do it tomorrow. The discipline is that other little voice that says, it's just 60 seconds. I could bang it out right now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and afterwards I'm going to feel better. That's the discipline, just doing it anyway. Perspective is where you're going to take your goal. I want to lose 20 pounds, 100 pounds. I want to put my PCOS into remission, whatever. You're going to take that goal and you're going to keep going deeper and deeper. Like, but why do I want that? But why do I want that? And you're going to stop. You could go really deep. You can do this a bunch of times, but you can stop once you hear yourself with the I want to feel statements. So instead of I want to lose 20 pounds, eventually you're going to get to a point where like, I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel happy in my skin. I want to feel like I could put on any outfit in my closet and be happy with it and confident. Whatever that is for you, you got to wait for that I want to feel part of it. That's the perspective. The grace is where you're going to be gentle on yourself. So you're not going to beat yourself up, and you're going to find that you get towards your goals a lot quicker that way. And the failing forward is that you're going to take everything that quote unquote goes wrong, and you're going to use it as an opportunity to learn. All right. So you can start thinking like, what's good about this situation? So when you told yourself you weren't going to eat after dinner and you ended up having a pint of ice cream anyway, instead of beating yourself up and getting mad, you're going to give yourself grace. And then for failing forward, you're going to say, okay, why did that happen? Like, think about what was going on. I was feeling stressed, and instead of listening to myself and taking a break, I tried to push through it. And then my brain was like, nope, you can't push through it anymore. You're going to go have this pint of ice cream. Okay. So next time, maybe I can take a break sooner. Next time, maybe I won't keep a pint of ice cream in the freezer if that's a trigger food. Next time when I'm craving the ice cream, I'm going to wait 10 minutes and see if I still want it after 10 minutes. There are a lot of tools for each of these things, but the point is that you're going to take each situation and try to fail forward, try to learn from it for each one of those, okay? So those are the 5 things that you need before any magical transformation to take place. Find it in yourself to find these little baby seeds, water them, give them sunshine, and I promise you, you will do so much better the next time you're ready to get started and get going on a transformation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.